This video presentation of Fission Uranium Corp. Fission trades on the Toronto Venture Exchange on our ticker FCU. Going to wrap this week up with the stock that's been uptrending basically all of 2013. This is just scaling it into a 4-month chart. And I picked this time frame because what's important to me to see if Fission's going to hold this little short-term base, more importantly a stronger support right here around $1.05, and try and push upward and fight through a pretty tough resistance, these top ends up around $1.40, to push through and make some new highs and continue this long-term uptrend. It's a bit of a concern. This last move stalled out right around $1.39, didn't go up and challenge these old highs up around $1.50, but it is notable that right now it's holding a higher low as compared to the last pullback from those highs, forming a little bit of a kind of drawn out wedge. Both the 50-day and 20-day moving averages coming in. I think this chart's just at that point that we should pay attention to it and see if it's going to muster some more steam to take out the top, or potentially if it's going to fall apart and start to establish a downward channel. I can see the MACD has cooled off from those highs, but that's not a huge concern to me because the MACD is holding right around zero. Histogram bars are starting to tick back upward, saying potentially there's a bullish cross coming. And also notice that they're trending closer together as the histogram bars are gradually ascending back towards zero. So again, it's kind of at a stalemate point for the trend and at a point to pay attention to it to see if it's going to break back upward, drop a bullish cross, the 12 pass through the 26, and start to take on a much more bullish look to the MACD. Now, really not getting anything out of the slow stow. Buried down low. Tell me there's no bullish momentum in the play at this point. Clearly what we look for there is a bullish cross, a rise back upward, break back through 50, just to show that momentum is building once again in the play. A little bit of a different look to the money flow index, registering a 37. That's down in bear chart territory, but gradually working its way higher. We'll look for a rotation here, move back through 50, try and come through and make some higher highs, and show people are paying higher prices for the stock. Relative strength index is at a very neutral point, right there around 50, registering a 46, indicating the struggle between the bulls and bears to gain control of momentum. But that's pretty typical in a wedge type of pattern, which I'll put in here real quick. That's the type of indecision that I see going on in the chart. I don't want to clutter it up too much, so I'm going to pull those back off to show some static support and resistance points. Now, as I mentioned, I'd like to see it hold this point right through here around $1.15. Obviously, that's a very short-term point. I see a stronger support level just below that. That's actually right about $1.07. If it can't hold this $1.15, that's the key point I'm going to look for, because there's not a lot of support in sight until a pretty good drop if it breaks through that. I'd say at the minimum down here around 93 cents, and perhaps even lower around 80 cents. But if it breaks below that, then we're starting to see lower lows. More than likely, we'll start seeing lower highs as well, and that's the downward channel I don't want to see start to be established. Right now, I'm looking for this to try and push off this green day on Wednesday. Volume's not an issue, over 1 million shares traded, closed up 2.5%. I'm looking for the push off of that point, test what I'd call first resistance, right in through there around $1.28. But more importantly, I'm looking for that $1.40 mark. If it breaks through that, we're talking about potentially making 52-week highs, and generally just continuing a longer-term uptrend, moving back over top of these key moving averages. The 200-day happens to be trending much lower. As I said, the stock's been on a real strong uptrend. Pretty substantial gains just to even go up and challenge that point. And of course, with the breakout, there's no more resistance in sight. So it's a pretty nice looking uptrending chart. We've been looking at a lot of bottom plays recently, but as long as these support levels can stay intact, Fission Uranium is a chart to keep an eye on. As always, it's merely my interpretation of the FCU chart. I'm not a financial consultant. Strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.